So today I get to show you something that I'm really excited about. So come with me. We'll go. So this is the outdoor workshop. And all of it is, of course, to get that boat onto the water and me in it sailing. So I've been working on this quite a bit for the last couple of weeks, and essentially this is the day where I'm able to assemble it in my yard and see how long it'll be before I get to sail it. So as I assemble it, I'm going to show you bits and pieces of what I do, and you'll get to see what the excitement is all about. So connecting these outriggers, actually called amas on this boat, each of these things are labeled to show which one. One of the biggest jobs of the summer was to fasten strong things onto the boat. I think this is a pad eye. So that I can connect these crossbars to the boat and they won't rip off with the force of the mast moving them around. So on the inside, I cut these pieces of plywood, and I might have used washers on there, but I don't know, it didn't seem to matter that much. But essentially it goes through a hole in the crossbar, through a hole in the deck, and into that foot in the bottom of the boat. So of all the complicated ways I could have of connecting this to this, I've actually got one of the simplest ones. And then, okay, I have sailed this boat before with a different rig. So the next things that go on here are these benches. And this was one of the major modifications of this boat, was that the original rigging required that I sit in the cockpit to sail it. And it just wasn't very fun. I mean, it was fun, but it wasn't as much fun as it would be to sit out here and to be able to lean around on the boat. And also, possibly, depending on the buoyancy of the boat and the weight of the person, I might be able to take a passenger this way. So once again, rather than doing anything complicated, I'm just going to tie these onto the amas. This is probably the best and the worst invention I've come up with for this boat. Essentially what I did was I took the original rudder for the kayak and increased the surface area by putting on this extra piece of aluminum. And also, since I'm driving this from the benches and no longer the cockpit, I needed to be able to steer it by hand instead of with my feet as you would a normal kayak. So I just modified the top of the rudder to add this tiller onto it, and I have a tiller that goes all the way to where I can reach it from the benches. It still flips up like the original, and I just put it into the boat like this. I am able to flip it up. But the point is that if I run aground, I can keep tension on this. I can keep tension on it when I'm sailing with this one. And if I run aground, it will just flip itself up. Now, here I have the end of the tiller, and of course it would be a problem if I were to let go of this and it could fall in the water like that. It would fall over here. So to fix that problem, I'm simply going to attach a rope from the end of this onto this crossbar somewhere, and that way it'll have some maximum extension to approximately where I would be able to fish it out of the water if I were to drop it. Okay, so now it's time to put the sail on and explain what the heck this is for. One of the sailing grips around here. As a result of putting this longer sail on, one of the things I had to do was make a mast extension. And this is one of the things that's not quite finished for this boat. I still need to thicken this up a little bit with fiberglass resin or epoxy so that it fits more snugly in here. So for the moment, just to measure things up, I'm just going to just jam this thing a little bit with some old inner tube. So like that. Okay. It's nice, the noise next door quieted down. A block for the jib halyard. And I'm just going to tie it. Here's a cable to one side of the boat, and a cable to the other side of the boat. Okay. Main halyard block, and this one is for the jib halyard. Okay, and that's also through pad-eye. So this is the bow of the boat. It's the stern. I'll never get them in there when that's. Okay, so hopefully I won't have to put this up and take it down again right away. Let me just show you what I've got. I've got my jib halyard through the halyard block. I've got this cable which is fed through the jib socket. It's also through that same guy here. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. And then I've got these two cables which are going to go port and starboard, and then I've got my main sail, main halyard through this block here. Okay, that's it. That's how that works. Done. One of my favorite pieces of equipment that I bought from an old sailor is this 4-to-1 block. Okay. So that's the setup. Okay, so there's the whole boat, top to bottom, and I'll just explain a couple of things that I missed. Now, of course, this stuff here is a cable, so I'm going to tie everything differently. I'm just one of the lateral cables, and it's tied into there's a pad-eye down there, and I'm also going to tie the jib sheet block into this. Yeah. Okay. This was a very important piece in the modification. Essentially, the boat, the mast used to stay in because the downhaul from the sail would just pull that into this crossbar. But I feel like now that I have more sail and more force pulling down, I feel like I don't want to put that much force onto the bottom of the boat. So I built this thing which I can tighten up here, and it will friction fit onto. Or it'll put friction onto the mast itself, so that the mast can actually rest on this, which rests on the crossbar. So some of the weight is distributed right into the crossbar. And now my halyards and my downhaul, which I haven't quite made yet, are going to pull up on this piece instead of pulling up on the boat. Okay, so the most of the pressure. The pressure that I don't have as much control over is just end to end on the mast, and then what I can control is the tension on these cables, so that I can connect the mast to the boat with this cable, the front cable, and of course the main sheet. Okay, so those are the things that are pulling down towards the boat. Okay, so continuing on, this is my main halyard, this is my jib halyard. My jib halyard turned out to be too short, so it didn't go onto the cleat properly, but it will in the future. That there, which I haven't talked about at all, is my centerboard. And let's just go look at it. So the centerboard, of course, needs to come up when it goes on land, and it's on this little swivel here. And down here, I attached a piece so that I can pull on this with some sort of bungee cord or something like that. I haven't quite finished the invention yet, and this will keep the centerboard in the water without having to mess with the tightness of this. The first time I sailed this, I had the centerboard floating up and me holding it down by hand while I sailed the boat. It was ridiculous. So I showed you all that stuff already, but that's what the top of the mast looks like when it's on the boat. It looks a little bit messy, but it works. Another thing I didn't show you earlier was this boom. Funny story. And another rope that I'm missing is, another line that I'm missing is the outhaul. And I took the idea from an FJ Flying Junior? Yeah. Essentially I tie to here, I'll go through here, through this block, and then along here and into this jam plate. Okay, and I've got my special fancy main sheet and my tiller, and this brings me to the rudder, and I think that's it. That's the whole boat. Oh, I can't wait to sail this. This is going to be awesome. Somehow I've got to hold the tiller at the same time. Figure that out, but this is approximately where I'll sit. Hopefully I'll be able to take a passenger here while I sit down. Alright, hopefully this weekend. This weekend is when I want to do this.